I'm super lucky that my dad kept all my childhood books. Obviously, we've got some classics. So Tiger Who Came to Tea. We've got Where the Wild Things Are. We've got The Gruffalo and Charlie and Lola. There's also some, I think, that are more well known, like Something Else, I think, is quite well known. And a couple of my absolute favourites is What Cried Granny, because you could go, what? Over and over and over again. That's a brilliant story, and I think the illustrations are great, but it's repetitive. Kids get to learn it and scream What Cried Granny on many occasions. So that was my favourite part of that book. And this one is illustrated by the same illustrator. So about a girl that buys a monster from a pet shop, but it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until it is eaten her wardrobe, and it shows her trying to keep it in different things, but it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So that one's quite fun. Dinosaurs in the Supermarket is quite interactive. I like it. Spotting all the little dinosaurs in amongst the vegetables. You can see them hidden throughout the book, gives them something to look for. It is, yeah, it's a really nice book. I really like that one. So for dinosaur lovers, that one's great. Little Monster Did It, I think, has beautiful illustrations. These three are all Helen Cooper books. My dad loved them, hence me having a few. Little Monster Did It is about a little girl who has a baby come home, and obviously is a little bit jealous, so plays up and always blames it on the monster. So she does naughty things, but it's always that little monster did it. So the floor was soaked and little monster did it. And in the end, she learnt that she gets time with her parents, and she doesn't always have to be silly, and that they can be friends. So that's really nice. The Baby Who Wouldn't Go to Bed is another great one. It is bedtime. No, not having bedtime. So it's a lovely book and shows his adventure before bed, and these are all his toys, but they're kind of come to life. So that's another one I really like. Pumpkin Soup is also a great one. Thud is an animal book. They all hear a thud, thud, thud. And it's all about all the animals as they hear this thud. A lot more writing in that one. I'd say that one's for a little bit older. But it's a lovely book. Princess Asta is a princess who desperately wanted her own bear. It's beautiful, I think, and she decided to send a letter to a newspaper because she wanted a big bear. She received letters from bears all over the world, and she spent time trying to choose the perfect bear for her. She chose one of the friendliest because he had the best eyes, and it talks all about how her adventure began with her bear and visiting him in the North Pole. And yeah, it's just a lovely story. Sometimes I like to curl up in a ball. I think it's great. It's a bit about emotions. I think that's really lovely. It has gorgeous illustrations. Sometimes I like to curl up in a ball so no one can see me because I'm so small. And yeah, I just think it's beautiful. I think it talks about it's not that I'm cross, it just he likes how it sounds when he screams ever so loud. And sometimes I like to walk round and round. I pigeon step till I fall down. And it gives children actions that they can do as well, which I think is nice. And yeah, I love that one. It's just beautiful. Great one. Julia Donaldson, Gruffalo Lady. Detective Dog is one of hers that I don't see as much, but I think is fantastic. And it's all about a little boy's dog who has the best nose and helps find the books that are stolen from his owner, little boy's school. And yeah, it's just a lovely story for dog lovers. Children that loves dogs, that's a great one. Following the scent trail. And they find the person that stole the books. There we go. And then obviously we've got the fantastic Dr. Seuss books. My stepmom's American, so we had lots of this sort of book. And we've also got some that are for children that are a little bit older. I think I had these when I was perhaps a little bit older than the others. The Duck That Had No Luck it's hilarious. It's about a duck that has the worst look in the world. So it's good for children that are a little bit older but are still wanting picture books. I find it hilarious. I was obsessed with Vincent van Gogh and Van Gogh. Let's not even go there. And this is a beautiful book just about him and his life, and it's really, really lovely. So it also has like all of his paintings in it, and yeah, his family. A good learning book. Dog's Night is about an art gallery where once a year there is a dog night, and all of the dogs come out of the paintings, and they all come together, have a huge celebration, but they got into the wrong paintings. So when the gallery opened, all of the dogs were in the wrong paintings, and people came from all around to see all of the dogs that were in the wrong paintings. And it made the art gallery so popular until 1 year later, everyone was queuing to see the dogs in the wrong paintings, but they had a new dog's night, and the dogs realised that they preferred their homes. So they all got back into their right paintings, and everyone was very confused. And it shows about the paintings at the end, which is a nice little learning. Magic Hoofbeats is a book of short stories for older children, less pictures, but it is all about horses. I was an absolute horse lover, and so it is lots of short stories all about horses. Lovely. And it's got some nice illustrations just to keep it interesting. I probably got this when I was about 10 or 11. And this one's hilarious as well. The Stinky Cheese Man and Other Fairly Stupid Tales. It is just funny. And yeah, they did a great job. I think it is just great. So it is, yeah, it's a good book, and it is basically common stories but told in a really silly way. So yeah, and they do things like this just to make it funny. I have a couple. Edward Fudwhopper Fibbed Big, I think my dad bought when I went through a fibbing stage. And yeah, funny book. All about telling fibs and that they don't get you anywhere, basically. But a good one. This is a beautiful book about family and love, and it is, I think, one of those lovely repetitive nighttime books. So yeah, I think that one's beautiful. This one was my favourite at Christmas every year, Harvey Slumpfenberger, and it was about basically a forgotten present and him to try and get this present. It is a very old book. It was written a long time ago, but it is lovely. So every year we got that out at Christmas. And I think that is a majority of them. Andrew Green's Who's Taken It is pretty hilarious. It is about who stole the toilet paper, and the animals are trying to figure out who stole the toilet paper, which is, of course, absolutely hilarious to children. And yeah, that's a great one. And here we are for children that like space and how the planet works. That is a fantastic one. So it teaches them all about living on planet Earth. Yeah, a lovely book. So yes, very lucky that my parents kept all of my books growing up. We always had a rule that you weren't allowed to buy things every time you went out, but if I ever asked for a book, it was never no. My parents were just really keen on me reading a lot. So I've also got a whole bookcase of more, but these were just a few I pulled off in case anyone needed some ideas of books that they could choose. So yeah, hope you like it.